Why, sirs? What's wrong with calling a statue a block of wood if it behaves like one?
It appears this woman and I have a common complaint.
In short, sirs, I'm saying I was married off to this man, if that's what you insist on calling him. But this man is not the one I married.
How's that? I don't follow you.
I mean, I thought I was marrying a man who was normal. You might say run of the mill. But soon I found out he was a block of wood, just like I said. He can't tell his right hand from his left. He makes no effort whatsoever to support his family. He spends his morning at Mass or hanging around the Guadalajara gate, gossiping and exchanging lies and hearsay. In the afternoon, and sometimes even in the morning, too, he does the round of the gaming houses. There he joins with the crowd of onlookers who hang around the gamblers in hope of a tip, though they're heartily disliked by the people in charge. He shows up around 2 o'clock with a shilling to show for his efforts, because they're no longer in the tipping mood. He goes out again, returns at midnight, has supper if he can find any, and if not, he blesses himself, gives a yawn, and goes to bed. And then he can't sleep. He tosses all night. I ask him what's wrong. He tells me he's composing a sonnet for a friend who wants an epitaph. He insists on being a poet as if that weren't the worst paid job in the world.
My dear wife, everything you say is perfectly reasonable. Just as everything I do is perfectly reasonable. If it were not so, I would have managed to get a hold of some small official favor, like many clever wheedlers I know who land themselves a staff of office and a small, ill-tempered mule. Well, in one saddlebag they carry a clean shirt and collar, and the other a wedge of cheese, a loaf of bread, and a wineskin. They're wearing their city clothes, with leggings and a single spur added for the journey. And their commissions are gnawing at them inside their shirts. Out across the Toledo Bridge they clatter, urging on their stubborn mules. And a few days later they send back a salted leg of pork, an unbleached length of linen, in short, items that could be bought cheaply where they've been sent to, and would help to put food on the table at home. But I enjoy neither job nor patronage. I don't know what to do, Your Honor. No one wants to hire a married man, with the gentry so tight-fisted and, well, my wife so insistent. I have no choice, Your Honor, but to implore you to grant us a separation.
There's something else, sir. Since I know my husband is so puny and inadequate, I do my best to help, but there's a limit after all. I'm a respectable woman. I shouldn't have to do anything I'm ashamed of.
On that point alone, this woman deserves to be loved. Yet look beneath those scruples, and you'll find that she's the most ill-natured creature alive. Why, she turns jealous for no reason at all, starts screaming without provocation, has far too high an opinion of herself, and looks down her nose at me because I'm poor. But the worst part, Your Honor, is that in exchange for remaining faithful to me, she expects me to put up with her disagreeable ways and ill temper.
Well, why not? Seeing as I'm such a virtuous woman, why shouldn't you treat me with the respect I deserve?
Just listen to me, wife! Let these gentlemen hear what I have to say to you. How can you keep harping on how virtuous you are, when that's what any self-respecting Christian lady of decent family is supposed to be? Why, just imagine women wanting their husbands to respect them for being faithful and modest, as if that were enough to make them perfect. Why, you don't notice that the rest of your virtues have fallen through the cracks. What do I care if you're satisfied with your own moral standards? I do, however, care a great deal that you ignore your maid's immoral behavior, that you are a spendthrift, that you're constantly frowning, arguing, complaining, that you're angry, jealous, distracted, lazy, idle, and a lot more on top of that! Why isn't it to finish off 200 husbands? Yet, when all's said and done, Your Honor, my wife, Mistress Guillemar, has none of these vices, and I admit that I'm a block of wood, a good-for-nothing, lazy bones, negligent. So, if for no other reason than to uphold the law, Your Honor, you must grant us a divorce. I make no objections to what my wife has said. I consider the case closed, and I will gladly accept your judgment.
What objection could you possibly make? He provides nothing to eat either for me or our servant. And take note that I said servant in the singular, and she's as skinny as a baby born before its time. Doesn't eat to cricket alive.
Order there! Here come some more plaintiffs.
Your Honor,
I come before you today to beg you to grant me a separation from my wife, Aldonza de Minyaga, on 4 principal counts.
You've made your mind up already. Tell me what these 4 counts are.
First, because I can no more stand to be with her than with all the devils in hell. Second, for reasons that she's aware of. Third, for reasons I can't mention. And fourth, to save my soul from the devil. Just see if I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her.
You've more than stated your case.
Your Honor, listen to me. I'll have you know that if my husband is asking for a divorce on 4 counts, then I'm asking for one on 400. First, because every time I set eyes on him, I believe I am seeing the devil himself. Second, because he deceived me when I married him. He told me that he was a well-qualified doctor. He turned out to be a mere surgeon, someone who bandages and tends minor ailments. He's a far cry from a real doctor. Third, because he's jealous of everything, even the sun that shines on me. Fourth, since I can't abide him, I could put 1,000,000 miles between us.
How the devil can anyone make these 2 clocks chime together? They can't even keep the same time.
Fifth, because every time I send him to the for one thing.
If you plan to give us every one of your 400 reasons, I'm not disposed to hear them. And besides, there isn't time. We'll hold your case over pending further evidence, so you may go now. God rest you. We have other cases to consider.
What more evidence do you need, since I refuse to die in her company and she doesn't want to live in mine?
If that were sufficient reason for divorce, there would be no end of couples seeking to shake off the yoke of matrimony.
Mr. Judge, sir, I'm a porter. Well, I won't deny that. But I'm a Christian and an honest man through and through. If I didn't sometimes get a hold of the wine, or rather if the wine didn't sometimes get a hold of me, I could have been a steward in the Porter's Brotherhood by now. But, well, getting to the point. Once, when I was very sick from my perilous encounters with Bacchus, I promised to marry a lady of the night. When I recovered, I kept my word, and to save her from sin, I made her my wife. I set her up selling fruit and vegetables in the market, but lately she's become so stuck up and ill-tempered that she gets in a fight with everyone who comes to the stall. Sometimes it's because she gives short measure, and 9 times out of 10 because someone touches the fruit. When that happens, she throws a lead weight at their heads, or anywhere else she happens to aim, and curses them down to the 4th generation. Her gossiping neighbors don't give her a moment's peace, and my sword goes in and out like a switchblade in her defense. If it please you, Your Honor, I would like to be quit of her. Or, perhaps, you could make less a shrew of her. More gentle and ladylike? If you could do that, I promise you free delivery of all the coal you need this summer, for I have a good deal of influence with my fellow porters.
I know this man's wife, and she's as bad as my Aldonza. Need I say more than that?
See here, although some of you have made a good case for divorce, you must still present all your evidence in writing with the support of witnesses. So I'm adjourning the court for now. But what have we here? Musicians in my court, this is something new indeed.
Your Honor, do you remember an estranged couple you recently brought to their senses, encouraging them to kiss and make up? Well, they're throwing a big party at their house and sent us to ask Your Honor if you'd be good enough to join them.
I'll be delighted to do so. I hope some of these people find as good an end to their troubles.
If that were to happen, the notaries and attorneys of this court would all starve. No, no, let every couple seek a divorce. When all's said and done, they end up as they were, and we stand to gain by their quarrels and foolishness.
Well, for now, let's go and join the fun.